$100 to my name for some shows in all the place. Towards my songs a measly pay, but won't complain. Yeah, means more work needs to be made. Fix my family.
Welcome to my home, my house, my casa. This is Boiardee, and today we are going to cook some ribs for you. We have a beautiful rack here. It's just chilling out with some sugar right. We're going to get some salt going in there and a little bit of apple cider vinegar. Right now we're making a brine, which is salt and sugar in various concentrations depending on how you like it, whether you want it more sweet brine or more tart. Today we're going for kind of half and half. We're also going to add a bit of soy sauce, and that's definitely going to give that salt element. For some reason, soy sauce seems to penetrate meat really well too for this recipe. We're going to go ahead and mix that up now. Give that a little stir. You can also add a bit of garlic in here. I'm not going to do that. I would do that if I was going in an Asian preparation. Today we're actually going for a more barbecue kind of spring preparation. We just sprung forward as far as time change, so we want a little bit of a meal that's going to, emulate the environment. Unfortunately, it's kind of cloudy today, but we are going to have a nice meal. Hopefully we're going to do some mashed potatoes with that.
It was at this point I realized I did not plan a menu.
And probably some street style corn. So stick around. We're gonna let that chill out for about an hour.
The longer the better. You can go up to 48 hours with this. We're just gonna go a couple hours.
Because we're hungry and we're ready to eat. So can't wait to show you the finished product.
I failed to mention, you also want to add a bit of water too. Not too much to where you dilute your brine, so that again is going to be up to your preference, but just enough to where it's almost submerged. I could cut these in half, so it would be sitting in there really well. But again, we're not looking for that long time brine. If you were going to let this sit a couple days, you definitely want to cut that in half and make sure it's fully submerged.
Let's make some barbecue sauce. It's definitely not hard. Mostly all the condiments that you have in your fridge, take them out because you're going to need basically all of them. The sauce today is going to be ketchup based, so cup and a half or so of that. With the sauce, you want to make a little bit extra than you think you would need because you're going to baste the ribs a few times and you want to make sure you have enough to go throughout the whole thing. For spice, we're going to add a couple of drops of cayenne pepper. For some tartness, we'll add a little bit of lime juice and lemon juice. Along that same line of tartness, we're going to need a little bit of good old Frenchies. And we're doing two kinds of mustard here. Need a little bit of the Chinese spicy mustard. This gives the pork a really nice kind of heat that you wouldn't expect. Beyond that, we're going to put a little bit of salt, some cinnamon, just a dash. That gives it the je ne sais quoi, if you will. Brown sugar. Probably about 3 or 4 tablespoons. The reason why you add that is so you get that caramelization. If you don't have the sugar element in your sauce, then you're not going to get that like gooey, sticky, and again that browning and the caramelization, which is especially important because you're using your oven. And in order to achieve that broiler or that kind of barbecue status, we're definitely going to want to do that. Lastly, for some flavor, we're going to grate a little bit of garlic in there. Only about half a clove. Next, we're going to do a little bit of chili. This is just ground molido. That gives it a pepperiness, and again helps with that char that we want on the ribs. Just a dash of honey. It's a little bit cold, so it's taking a second to come out. But we will squeeze it. Oh, come on. And just a little bit of honey. Oh, and a pinch or two of red pepper flake. And that's going to be to your taste. That kind of heat gives that ever so often pop of kind of, ooh, that was a spicy bite. So that's why you add the red chili flake. Then you just give it all nice mix. You can really smell the Chinese mustard. And you can see the color is kind of that brighter, more yellowish, closer to yellowish than red. So I think the sauce will be nice. You can give it a taste too if you want to see what it's like. And we'll add a lot of black pepper. And there is your homemade barbecue sauce. There's no right or wrong way to make it. You can do it however you want. You can make it more tangy and use your favorite hot sauce as the base. You can omit any of the mustards that you don't want or ketchups. You really can't go wrong. The basis of it is some sort of acidity, some sort of sweetness, some sort of smokiness. And speaking of smoky, that's why we brought this along, and it's a little bit of oregano, Mexican oregano. That's going to give it that peppery, aromatic quality. And we also had some cumin here. There's the cumin. And if you have some smoke element, liquid smoke or whatever, you can add that to your barbecue sauce. But I'm adding cumin, which again will give it that aromatic, peppery spice. You just definitely want to have that sugar in there, so then once we start broiling the ribs, you can get it that char. But we'll put that in the fridge to chill, and we'll be ready to baste the ribs once we start baking.
So the next step to making these ribs amazing and imparting the most flavor beyond the brine is we're going to go ahead and put them into the Instapot and make sure that they get a nice steam going. That's going to cook the ribs throughout. So that's step dos.
We don't want to steam those ribs by themselves, though, because that would not enhance the flavor. So what we're going to do is add an onion to that Instapot, and that is going to render down with the ribs. And what that does is it keeps a lot of that moisture from being removed from the rib by adding that onion in there and taking away some of that heat. So we'll get this onion in there.
And make sure it goes in with the ribs.
So I could tolerate all of you lames, yeah. Still more work needs to be made, cause my patience turning gray and getting worn out to this very fucking day, yeah. I ain't in tune with y'all. You worry about who gon' ball. Stay kicking down, who gon' fall. Only way you gon' feel tall. Yeah. Don't look so appalled. Said nobody gon' stop me, y'all. Doubt that you will kill me off. No, I cannot leave. Already sown what I'll reap, alright. I just need room to
Change of plan, guys. We don't have any corn. Sorry. But what I'm gonna make is a green chili mac and cheese. So you're gonna definitely enjoy that. Stay tuned.
But they on time, you busy trying to be somebody that you aren't. For the limelight, well fuck it, that's life, that's yours, not mine. Yeah, I'll be fine, I'll get what's mine by any means.
The ribs just finished their 15 minutes steaming, so now we're going to go ahead and put a cold towel on top and release the vent. That way you can do a full release on that one there. Make sure you hit the cancel on the warm as well, or else it'll continue to heat the Instapot.
Let's go ahead and make the mac and cheese. We're going to spice up this mac and cheese with a little bit of green chili, shallot, and a bit of garlic. Don't want to use too much garlic because garlic in the mac and cheese is going to be pretty strong, and mostly we want to highlight the flavor of the whole green chilies. Go ahead and do 2 whole chilies. Small bit of shallot. Shallot is like a mix between a sweet onion and a garlic. We're going to do a coarse chop on that, because again, the more you render that down, the more it's just going to melt through in the sauce. So we're not worried too much about the chop consistency on that one. And lastly, a little bit of heat, because the green chilies don't really have much spice when they're roasted from the can that way, so we're going to do a bit of jalapeno.
Let's get this all cooking on the stove.
We're going to put those on the low rack since the heat's coming from above.
I've been begging for a change, alright. Not the greatest of pace, but always manage to make it in time for the thing gets erased. Nobody rushing my art, it's mine. Not who made it first, but who made it best is gon' shine. Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead and take your pasteurized cheese product and put that in your casserole dish, or anything that can go into an oven, your Corningware, whatever you got. Something that you can put in it so we can introduce a little bit of heat to this after too. Working from one end to the other, don't want to forget any bit of this liquid gold. To prepare the topping for the green chili mac and cheese casserole, we're going to take panko breadcrumbs, which are amazing when you fry them, but on their own, they kind of lack a little bit of flavor. So what we're going to add to them is a nice portion of Parmesan cheese. This is going to give browning and a little bit of crunch and texture, and most importantly, some of that salt. So I like to just press this together with my fingers, which browns the breadcrumb a little bit further, makes it a little bit more fine, and we can go ahead and have that ready to put on top of our mac and cheese once we introduce the green chili and fold that all together. If you have some parsley or something green to also put in there, that'd be nice too. I'll see if I have anything.
Noodles look nearly done. Give one a test. Oh. Yeah, those are done.
Just a little bit of that water left, and that's going to help thicken the casserole.
Alright, let's assemble. Put the green chilies, garlic, the shallot, jalapeno into the cheese. This is going to warm the cheese up some and allow us to fold it with the noodles much easier. So we got all that in there. Next, we add the noodle. Oh, right to the top. Stir this from the bottom, and eventually it'll all mix throughout.
And if you're just patient with it, it should melt that cheese up. There we go. You could definitely use a bigger casserole dish.
Now that we have that thoroughly mixed, we're going to go ahead and put
More cheese.
our slices of Americana. We probably just need one for this. Well, you know what? Actually, yeah, let's get two.
More cheese.
Alright. And let's add a bit of black pepper to our breadcrumb topping. And what you do is you go ahead and sprinkle that on there. And you want end-to-end coverage here. And it smells like our ribs are getting cooked pretty well too. And if you have some oil, you can drizzle it on. I'm going to do some of this canola oil spray. And we'll get that in the broiler as well.
This will be our first baste. The ribs have taken on a beautiful color from that sauce.
So that color definitely means flavor.
And again, make sure if you want a little bit of sauce left over, because it is going to be really good and have a slightly different flavor than. If you want to save some of that for actual dipping and when you eat your ribs.
Would not be a bad idea. Alright, back in the go.
We all could shine if you stop bitching every minute. Don't need a sign, I'm ready living. $50 to my name, I picked up a couple.
We're definitely moving along here. We have the mac and cheese in the oven, green chilies, the garlic, the jalapeno all rendered down. It's going to give that a little bit of a smoked and kind of a spiced flavor. What's going to really kill it though is that topping with the panko breadcrumbs. That's what's up. And the ribs are doing nice. They took on a lot of color. They're super gummy. We put our first baste on. You can do that as many times as you like, but your ribs are going to dry more and more, and you have to watch the char. We do have the oven set super high, so do not walk away from your ribs. Down right now. Don't walk away. Oh, hello, my friends. Welcome. Here, have some wine. Please, do not mind me. We did take the ribs out, though, and they're looking good. Our second baste on them. We've got that bit of char going. Those sugars are caramelizing, and the meat's starting to brown. So we'll go ahead and cover that with the sauce again. Another blanket of savory flavor and safeness to keep it from burning. And then we'll be ready to eat. Phew. Hey guys, it's almost dinner time. What's next? I'll tell you. Sauteed bacon spinach. Definitely gotta have another pork flavor for the dish. If you want it to be tasty and a full celebration of all that is pork. So that's what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna show you how to make that right now.
Alright, we're going to take a heated pan with a little bit of oil in it, and we're going to add however much bacon fat or lard you want to. Now, I know what you're saying. Why would I use bacon fat?
Would I use bacon fat? And it's because
It tastes good! And also, because why would you waste it? A lot of these natural fats from the meats are what you want. And these processed oils are bad for you, so I like to save my bacon fat for beans and for tortillas and whatever else you're going to use it for. So we'll let that render down. Once that's all the way melted, we'll add some garlic. Let that garlic render down slightly. Allow some of those oils to be subdued and a little less pungent. Don't want raw garlic. And our spinach. And we'll add our spinach. And always more than you would think, because this cooks down to nothing.
so. Turn the fire down at that point. We don't want the garlic to burn. And we'll add a pinch of salt. That way the water from the spinach will come out. You can press together your spinach and push it down on the bottom of the pan. You just have to be careful from burning yourself. But as you can see, it's a quick way to get that spinach rendered down faster.
Once you see the darker leafy green go away and you have the more kind of bright green, you want to turn your flame off because your spinach is cooked. And you can pull the pan off the fire. All the nutrients and iron and fiber that's in spinach and protein. So, yeah, we're done. We'll get that on the table too.
It's gonna be good. All right, let's dig into this green chili mac and cheese. Let's see how she looks. Oh yeah. Nice. The smell is amazing. It's like smoked green chili. It just hits you right when you pop that. breadcrumb top. And I think the breadcrumb is going to give it a lot of nice texture. Shit. Well, that was fun, right? It was easy. It was quick. Using the Instapot to pre-cook the ribs and impart a lot of that flavor. We brined it, which depending on if you did the 1 day or the 1 hour or the 1 week, that could have been a little bit more labor intensive. But we did do a beautiful dish for you, and let's look here. So nice amount of char, super sticky, tender but not too tender, falling off the bone but not pulling right out and like a gummy mess. But this looks tasty, smells amazing. Really excited to try the mac and cheese with the green chile, a little bit of that panko, and that braised spinach with the bacon fat. It's gonna be so good. Really push that pork flavor to the top. You know it. Shred Boiardee. Do like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You guys know how YouTube works. I'm a new channel. I'm trying to bring you cool content, good flavors, fun recipes, and show you a little bit of my life. But hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll see how this tastes, and we'll see how my #1 fan, see what she thinks about it. So, thanks for sticking around. Let's introduce you to my #1 fan before her first bite. She loves being on camera.
I do.
Not really, not at all actually, but we want to get her reaction. We usually just have mac and cheese. We don't really ever dress it up because it's pretty decent as is, and if you're not gonna make this sauce yourself, I kind of feel like why go through all that trouble to, like, you know, make it all chefy. But it does taste good, yeah? Different?
Yeah, it's much better than the
Just straight up,
box.
yeah.
Yeah, can't stop.
Yeah, I'm like, I need a rib bite, yo. Show me a rib bite.
Okay.
I can do a rib bite since you're ready. I already cut one up. See how it tastes.
Fuck it, then I will crawl. Nobody gon' stop me, y'all. Might as well just kill me off. Y'all can see in my face. I've been begging for a change, alright. Not the greatest of
Tangy, sweet, smoky.
to make it in time. To think it's a
Still
race.
juicy.
Nobody rushing my
I don't know if you can see
Not who made it first, but who made it best is gon' shine.
the juice level
Say that I'm
of
lying.
the rib.
That's the price you pay for being
Cooking it with that onion in the Instapot's where it's at, and the brine, and making your own sauce because it's gonna be to your liking. So
So good.
so good.
Spicy, it's sweet, it melts in your mouth. And definitely has some heat.
Yeah, the heat's gonna be here and there, but should be nice. Nothing too spicy. But you guys should definitely make this recipe. If you have any questions or comments, please share them. That'd be awesome. Thank you so much. Till next time. You.